Jasmyne and Vince.
The JasVynce Show.
The JasVynce Show.
Ooh. What's up, baby?
Hi.
Hey, what's up? Oh, we talking to y'all. How's y'all? What it do? What it do? What's going on? Is a brand new episode of The JasVynce Show.
I'm Jazz.
And I'm Vince, and we're here to talk about Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 12. Happy to have you joining us for another episode. If you haven't done so already, please take the time to
like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, and hit that little bell right there so you know when we post, and usually right after the show. And usually the show is a little bit more exciting, but it was
basically therapy this
It was a therapy, so which is what they need. They absolutely need therapy. So I'm kind of glad that they took the time to
talk to Dr. Pepper.
Get to the crust. Apparently,
they said that way too many times.
That's like Clint saying for some reason, but they named a whole episode.
Okay, when he's saying, can we talk about it? When he's saying get to the crust, when you say to the crust, I'm thinking pizza.
I'm thinking pizza as well.
Is he talking about like
pie or earth?
I think he's talking about earth,
digging down
into it,
digging deep.
I think that's just not a good analogy
to figure
for
out
us.
What.
Were we the only people that had that issue?
Clint he's a funny guy, man. He's a funny guy. Fear gets the better of one bride as she worries that her happy marriage will crumble. Another wife clams up when her husband finally begins to share. Why? Why would you do that? A sensual body painting session turns one wife's body into a masterpiece. A masterpiece, my love.
Is that what we're calling it?
It's a masterpiece. I love it. You got something on you? You're a masterpiece. I was painting jazz.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's get into it. The first couple, and of course, thank you for watching this. Let us know how you feeling about these couples so far, because again, therapy session was nice. They do need to see the experts. It's always something that is good in my book. I just was falling asleep the whole.
This was boring.
The whole episode.
Because
there was some hot stuff, but it just seemed like people ain't really want to share like that. They didn't want to share.
Looking for some hot stuff.
Okay. All right, first couple I got. Let's talk about Nicole and Christopher. Nicole and Christopher are such a wonderful couple. And her dad don't seem to like him still.
She was such a beautiful bride.
Wasn't she? Wasn't she such a beautiful bride? I'm glad you said... No, never mind.
Don't do that. Don't do it. I think that her storyline is boring me, to be honest. Like the fact that she's saying she's just realizing how deep her traumas was, and she's saying for 15 years of her life, she was constantly dating the wrong person. And I'm like, 15 years? How old is she?
She is 32.
I feel like who you date at 17 don't count. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. Like, I kind of count the adult relationship you had. But
was it a 17-year-old burning cigarettes in her like he was grease or something like that? What's up with...
She never even told her mom that it actually was somebody that burnt her.
That was weird. So can we talk about that for a second? I thought it was weird. Let us know how y'all feel about that. If this is a sensitive topic for anybody. If there was something
you shouldn't say it's weird, because it's her experience, and I'm sure
other
people have had that experience.
I think she, at this point in her life, would agree that it's weird and that's not something that you should let somebody do to you.
Yeah, I don't even know how to categorize that. Is that a control thing?
Yes.
Is that just somebody that's just like a super abuser that just wants to? Okay.
All of those things.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for clearing that up.
I wasn't feeling that.
How you confidently know these answers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Cool. That's what, I'm a psychologist, so
You're a psychologist now. Oh, you went to school.
I study psychology. I don't have
You took one psychology class and now you're a psychologist. Okay, y'all.
I'm just saying, it clearly
I take a psychology class too. I'm not a psychologist.
That's your problem. I study psychology on the regular.
Okay, then.
Clearly they need more experts on this show.
Vince got a doctorate that I don't know about.
I don't. I just said I don't. I don't have a doctorate. I don't have a degree in psychology, but I study psychology, and that is something up. And I was going to say they need more experts because they just trying to spring Dr. Piaholic on us out of nowhere for the next episode.
Yeah.
Where you
been at?
Anywho, Yeah, I thought that was weird. Obviously, that is her experience. It's unfortunate that was to happen. I'm glad that she realizes, like, hey, it's not really acceptable. It also kind of sucks that her mom has to find out by watching the show.
She better tell her mom before that.
But the biggest thing that stuck out to me, aside from her crazy ex lighting her with cigarettes, I was trying to figure out why she wasn't messing with her dad until she got married.
She said
they kind of skipped over that.
She said, well, that's not what they said.
Yeah.
They had started doing yoga before. So it sounded like they didn't have a good relationship until she got older. But what I was getting from that was her dad was present, but there was clearly some resentment that she had because her parents got a divorce.
It seemed like a little, I get,
that's what she said. He said she didn't want to come stay with me because I only had a 1-bedroom. Yeah. So basically, she probably felt like you could have stayed with mommy and we had a home together, and I wouldn't have to like go to your 1-bedroom apartment on the weekends. Like, I feel like as a teenager, like that's some girls feel that way, and I understand where she's coming from, but I don't even understand why that was like super relevant. I think this whole episode they were talking about like their past and how it like is kind of making them stagnant in their relationships now, or things they could work on. Is what it was about.
You got more?
It was just boring. It was very boring.
It was boring. I was just gonna say I didn't have any real notes, but yeah, just speaking of the working on things, Dr. Pepper wants all the couples to work on vulnerability. So it was just nice to see them getting a chance to talk to each other. And Chris didn't cry. Chris didn't cry this episode, so that was
leave that man alone.
That was just a nice little clip. Let us know how you feel about Chris and what's her name again? Nicole and the dogs and the dad. There's some like drama brewing there. It just has not come to a full head yet. The dad
think he's soft, like I said, which he is.
We do get to see him say that he loves her, thanks to Pastor Cal in the next episode.
That was next episode. We'll see. Maybe not next episode. We'll see.
Let's talk about the CRUST. Let's talk about it. Anything? I don't think I took that many notes on them. Jazz said they've had their deepest convo ever in this episode.
Finally.
And I thought that was pretty dope.
They were really talking about like, I think she was talking about how like how growing up in a single parent household affected her and how her dad wasn't present. So she was like, if my dad is not going to be present, why do I expect other guys to be present? And what else was she talking about? She finds it easier to open up to women and not really to men because she wasn't around men, which makes sense as to why she has a hair salon as well.
It does.
That's all I got from her.
Yeah, pretty much. Her dealing with her insecurities, trusting men and stuff like that. Again, that conversation, them sharing their vulnerabilities and whatnot, it was a quick episode for us.
It seemed like they almost had a little thing when Dr. Pepper was saying, when she told Dr. Pepper, oh, he doesn't really ask me. He keeps saying he wants to get like deep and like talk about things, but he doesn't ask me anything deep or anything like open-ended that's deep.
What was the thing?
And he was like, well, like, you don't ever volunteer any information. And I feel like Dr. Pepper kind of took her side and was like, well, you need to bend and kind of like figure out how she wants you to ask questions. And I'm like, I feel like Clint has been the one that's been trying. So
Clint has been trying.
I think
she's turned over a new leaf, but
she not Clint trying.
Yeah.
It's not the same level.
But the fishbowl, man, the fishbowl with the questions and the suggestions. I love when that stuff opens people up. Like I tell you,
that's what it's supposed to
exactly. When it comes to the experiments, that's what I'm here for. Shout out to the what kind of cards we got? We got those little conversation cards for your relationship. I think ours is love lingual. Got them off of Amazon. This is not an ad unless you want it to be. But yeah, I always recommend stuff like that. Like, get the conversation started in some way, shape, or form, even if you don't know how to. So, bang bang. Shout out to y'all.
Nice.
All right, let's get into this couple right here. Our second to last couple, seeing as how McKinley and Dominique don't count anymore.
I think that Jasmine is saying one thing and doing another thing in this episode. Like, she told Dr. Pepper that like it's kind of hard for her because she's worked. She was talking about in her childhood, like she was comfortable and then she moved to another area where like she was like kind of an outcast and she didn't fit in with anybody, and she had finally like worked through her feelings in order to love herself now.
Yes.
And then it's weird for her to be in a position where like basically she want her man to be obsessed with her.
Exactly.
You know, and I get it. But
do you want your man to be obsessed with you?
You are obsessed.
Okay. Do you want me to be less obsessed with you?
When I'm trying to work, yes.
Yes, my beautiful queen.
So I thought that was interesting. Like, I feel like we could all see that, but I feel like she's kind of making it like he's making her back insecure because he's not into her. You didn't get that?
Okay, I would agree with that. Yeah, because I think Chris Rock once said, it's self-esteem. But I absolutely hear what you're saying.
You know better than to talk about somebody like Chris Rock to me right now.
Anywho, I know for a fact that, it shows up in her face. Like, she's used to being literally crowned the queen, the princess, you're the best looking, the best this, the best that. And he's just like...
But she said she thought about this being a situation
she
where
ain't got no booty.
She said she thought about this being a situation where, like, she could get married at first sight and her husband could not be attracted to her. But then she was like, I guess it was like, I think everybody thinks about that when they go on the show. Like, dang, what if my husband not attracted to me? But she like, I'm cute. Like, I ain't worried about that. But it's actually her reality now. So I think it's kind of like a mind FUCK, if that makes sense.
I would say her cerebellum is a little revealing. But outside of that... They showed some scene of
brain?
I'm joking. They showed some scene of her where she was like, what was it? Was that on the next episode also? Like, I was like, why she concentrating?
Well, everything was like,
why she concentrating on hating him so hard? All the veins in her forehead was popping out. I'm like, I'm scared.
Isn't Jasmine the youngest?
Possibly.
I feel like she is, especially because her mom came over to meet with Eris and see how everything was going. Yeah. And I feel like she did say it too. She said, I was sheltered is what she said.
Okay, there you go. So
I'm getting that youngest, and like, I'm used to everybody just being here for whatever I like and what I want. Cause I feel like even when her mom was talking to him. It's good to be aware of that though, as the person that goes through that. But I don't think she's aware of that.
She said it.
Like, I feel like I was the youngest in my family, but I know for a fact I didn't get everything I wanted all the time. Right. So, like, I know how to deal with rejection. I know how to go get stuff that I want myself. But I feel like I don't know. It seems like she has a very curated life. And for him, it wasn't like that. Like, his best friend was committed suicide in high school. Like, he had a lot of loss. So I think that what we got from this episode is that he is scared of getting close to someone and connecting because he's lost so many people, which, are we surprised by that?
No,
I'm not surprised by that at all. But all he be talking about is sex, so I don't know how you gonna get close
he's
to
a very interesting guy.
It's just a defer.
I don't know I can't put my finger on him all the way either. But that was a really good analyzation. Like, I feel like you're a psychologist now.
Oh, thank you for today.
Things. Yeah, that was really good.
I don't like that. I felt like the mom was just like, oh yeah, well, you gonna have to pull. He was like, well, she told Dr. Pepper that we wanted to like go deeper and talk about more in-depth things. Right. And literally when they were going through all those questions, I don't know. Like, and it wasn't like I don't know, like she genuinely didn't know an answer. It was like she was over it because you don't want to have sex with her. That's what it was given to me. Like, you're not into me. So like everything was just like, her facial expressions was giving, I'm over it, but I'm not going to say that directly to you. And it was giving very petty.
Do you feel like that was an opportunity for Eris to like, I don't want to say like put his foot down, but like she was clearly giving pushback. Like, she wasn't, it wasn't like she just, she was clearly giving, and he was like, wow, I'm giving all these answers and you just not giving me nothing.
I'm Team Eris on this because you know how I was saying like, Shaq was being like, well, I don't think you opening it up. Like, he was being aggressive. Eris, instead of saying it like that, he was like, oh, well, let me answer. She was like, you answer the question first. He went super in depth.
Got to.
Super in depth.
Because I know you're not about to say nothing else. So
right.
But he took that. I want to say that he took that like
he was
that
taking
social
the
cue.
initiative.
No, I'm saying I want to say he took that social cue as all right. She clearly not gonna give me nothing.
Yeah.
But like, could he have pressed her more? Like, all right, what's really going on? Like, ain't we supposed to be like working on this? Like,
he could have, but I felt like he wasn't trying to be like start conflict. Yeah. And she also said that she avoids conflict because she never saw her parents fight growing up, so she doesn't know how they ever resolved conflict. They just talked about it behind closed doors. So I think that she doesn't want to stir the pot, but she's clearly unhappy. Her face makes it clear that she's unhappy. But if he's listening to
her
what
face
you're saying,
and her head.
Shut up. I was about to say something.
Oh, chill.
I'm calling the MIB.
All right, leave me alone. She was looking scary, that's all.
So, what was I saying?
Him and how he was reading her emotions.
Oh, he was listening. He gave her what she said that she wanted when she talked to Dr. Pepper.
Yes.
But then she was not willing to meet him halfway.
Yeah.
And this is one of the first times I feel like Eris has like been on point. But I feel like her family, what I'm getting is her family may not hold her accountable for things.
Is her mom holding her accountable?
No, she's not, because she's going to tell him, oh, well, he was like, she said she wanted this. I was like asking questions and I opened up like fully. And then she just gave me nothing. And she's like, oh, well, sometimes you're going to have to pull it out of her. I'm like, Mom, are you serious?
Why is mom asking about pulling things out of her daughter in their sex life? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
That was weird too.
That was a little weird. That's why I just wanted to let us know if y'all thought that was weird.
Well, she said y'all wasn't going to have sex till after the... But what if something happened and... I'm not talking about sex with your mom, bro. That's weird.
It was a bit much. I don't have anything else about Jasmine and Eris. Anything else that you wanted to jump on?
She over it. It's going to have to be something drastic to
it don't seem like she like him now. It don't seem like she like him at all. Like, she's putting up a pretty good front, but... It's not looking well. Let's talk about Keeson and Shaq. I mean, Kirsten.
You want to Keeson? No.
Somebody was Keeson in this episode, but we'll get to it. The first note I have about them, they needed Dr. Pepper to be more open.
They did.
They needed Dr. Pepper because I don't know how they was going to get there themselves. I like the interaction with them. Between them in this episode, but I could still tell that there's, I think Keisha said it in the after party. They speak a different language. Like, they're not the same person. They're not even like close to the same person or like the same type of like vibe. They're very different people, and like they don't communicate the same. So yeah, they just needed a mediator, because even the way they talk, I don't know how they ended up.
I think that they need a marriage therapist. Like, if they say yes on decision day, I think that because the order of events of how they got married, they really need that marriage therapist to like break down those like what is exactly happening. Because when they have a third party, they're able to communicate things that they may have kind of said or insinuated, but it's like very clear as to how each of them feels. So Dr. Pepper was like, y'all need to break down this wall and figure out what's going on.
Yeah. Asking questions like, what does my partner need? How did they receive this?
What was the gem she dropped?
I thought that was the gem.
No, she said the golden rule in the Bible normally is like, you do unto others as you would have them do unto you. She said you need to love your partner as they would love themselves.
Yeah.
And that's basically about the love languages, kind of.
Yeah, big facts.
Because a lot of times people just will love you like they like to be loved, or and that's not necessarily how you feel it, so you won't feel it that like, you know what I'm saying. My words are all over the place. Right. You know what I'm saying. Thank you.
They getting their love on.
Yes.
They've been doing their thing. She been rubbing heads. She been like, that's the way that she communicates. So maybe
we could have recreated what they did.
You know what I'm saying? I like that. You want to rub on my head some more?
No. I'm not talking about that.
Do it.
You want to paint?
Rub on my head. I told you I would be down to paint you. I'd be down. Jazz said I could paint at some point.
Not with a white bathing suit on.
I thought this was a bigger video right here. But yeah, they was getting freaky.
Oh, they was.
Oh, they was all up in there. I'm like, yo, she had to dig in the back of his throat for the rest of that squirrel bird. And
She been waiting.
They've been waiting. I'm happy. Like, again, just to say, that felt so good just now. I was really trying to. Yeah, the same way that, you know, I like rubbing on his head, blah, blah, blah. Like, she enjoys a little touch too. Oh, my video not playing no more. I gotta reset the.
I think the thing is, I feel like he was being a little bit petty just because in the beginning, you just met this woman.
Let's talk about it.
And you were like, oh, can I kiss you? And she said no. Like, she told him no, straight up. Like, not yet. And then now, I will say, how do I say this? As a woman, you want to be pursued by your husband.
Yes.
And if I just met you, as a man, I feel like you shouldn't be offended if your wife that you just met says, no, I don't want to kiss you. I don't know you yet.
Yeah.
You know?
He should have asked.
But she still wants to be pursued.
Yeah, no, big facts.
So that
big
means
facts.
if you got to ask me every day if you can kiss me or every week, oh, is it okay for me to kiss you now?
Is it?
At some point, I'm going to say yes. So you need to keep asking me. And I think that's where she was.
Do you want to be more pursued? Is this not the right time to be asking? Do I need to?
We talking about date therapy,
Doing
not
their
ours.
therapy, their marriage therapy. I was like, let me know. I'll kiss you. I'll ask you to kiss more. But yes, I really, really like how she was gassing him up to, oh yeah, pan me like that, Zaddy. Oh, that's the...
Nobody said that. Vince loved to put a zaddy in everything.
Oh yeah. I was like, he ain't even really doing nothing. He got some blues.
I'm sorry, he had the ombre
purple,
going on. It looked good.
But he was doing his little, it was physical touch.
Yes.
It was physical touch. Clearly that's how she's showing him love. She must appreciate that as well. So the whole time he's like getting his little, like, you know, his little Basquiat on. She over there. Oh.
I was like, she being stimulated.
That's exactly what was happening, because consummation took place. Look at that.
We don't know when the consummation
We
took
don't-
place.
but
You assuming it's that
We
one
gotta
time.
assume they went in the bedroom. That's what he said. The next episode, they said, we consummated our marriage. And then they showed us all the drama that happened after that, of course, too. But,
Right, yeah.
but yeah, I'm happy for them. I'm very glad that they were able to make some headway, no pun intended, in that. But yeah, are anything else about Shaq, Kirsten? Are you trying to get?
I'm still rooting for them. I told y'all.
I am still rooting for them. Yeah, that was about it. Shout out to Dr. Pepper for saving the day. Let's get into some Mugga Sucking ratings, y'all. Obviously, we do our ratings here on our channel. We appreciate everybody that drops the ratings in the comments as well. We rate all these couples on their compatibility, their love, their level of, you know, working together as a couple. And nobody gets a 10 until they both say yes on decision day. Jazz's rules. Let's get into, let's start with Shaq and Kirsten, who we've given consecutive 7s. And I think they've been doing much better this week. Like,
they broke down a wall today, so they get an 8.
Huge wall. Now, this is not their very first kiss.
It is.
It's not their very first kiss, is it? Am I bugging that much? I was like, nah, they had to, because they
haven't kissed.
We got to run it back.
Remember, she gave him the cheek at the altar. Then he said, can I have a kiss another time? And she said no.
That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure this is the first time they're kissing.
That's crazy. Now we got to run it back. This is the first time. And the first time was like that? That's a lot.
Babe, why you acting like you got hot food in your mouth?
That's a lot. If that was the very first time they kissed, that is a lot. That's all I'm saying.
That's a build-up.
We have had Shaq and Kirsten at a even 7, as well as Nicole and Christopher, but we could never tell. Like, it was a different 7.
Okay, maybe 7.5.
It was a different 7, right? So would you like to keep them? Or you want to give them 7.5? Raise them up?
Yeah. We can't give them an 8. You know, 8 is exceptional. They still got stuff to work through.
We lift you up to 7.5. It's a really good score for them. I feel like they deserve an 8, honestly. Especially that being, I don't know, the first kiss throws me off. Either way, the fact that they're getting busy like that is like, come on. it takes a certain level of, you know, comfortability, like being all in somebody's mouth and stuff like that. It's a wild thing, even if you're married.
And remember, she said she didn't think she was a good kisser. You remember that?
As well. I don't know.
She didn't hesitate then.
I don't know who to blame that weird attack kiss parfait on, but
Kiss parfait.
it took place.
Kiss parfait.
It took place, yo. Let's talk about Jasmine and Eris, who got we gave them a 4-5 last time. I think they might. We still rooting for them.
I think they done.
I think they're done.
I'm giving
as well.
them a 3.5. I think they're done.
I think they're also done
because Eris was out in the beginning, and now Jasmine is seeming like she out. So
it's getting scary, y'all. It's getting scary. 3.5. Let us know how you feel about Jasmine and Eris. If you think they're gonna still exist for the next few weeks. Well, for the next few weeks at least. But we also saw another shady preview, y'all. Yep. Another shady preview. Gina and Clint received is this a 6? I think this is a 6 from us from last week. That might be an old score.
Why the hell we give them a 6?
It might be a 3.5. That might be an old score.
Okay.
I moved some stuff around.
I still don't think that they're progressing. Like,
I think they're doing okay.
They're as a friend, not as a romantic relationship.
We'll hear more about that next episode too. 4, 5,
3.5.
Wow, they're not that bad,
babe. It's not gonna work. They're not gonna stay married.
They named the whole episode after my guy.
They're not gonna stay married.
They're getting to the crust, babe. Come on.
They're not getting to the kind of crust we be talking about.
Let us know how you feel about Gina and Clint, because I'm curious if people think that they're gonna stay together. Nicole and Christopher received a 7 from us last episode. I feel like
they still get a 7
for now.
I mean, they like each other, so how can I talk bad about their relationship?
Yeah, and I feel like they like each other the most out of anybody.
I agree.
I don't have anything else about these couples. Please.
No, I think Kirsten and Shaq like each other more than them two like each other. I think they actually like each other.
I can see that. I can absolutely see that.
Like, as people, like, they are fond of each other. I can tell that.
It seems dope.
I think Nicole would have been like that with anybody she was with, and same thing with Chris.
It seems dope. I want to have everybody that has watched this video up to this time, of course, we thank you and we want you to
like, comment, and subscribe.
Always, y'all.
Hit the notification bell.
Yes, hit the bell and let us know if y'all watching Married at First Sight UK. We're not going to talk about it, but people are strippers and got kids and stuff. It's crazy.
It's wild.
They always trying to top US, but
also make sure you check out Millennial Moms Married at First Sight lives on Thursday afternoons, usually like 4:30 PST.
Please do. Shout out Millennial Mom.
Yeah. And
also, don't y'all talk about 90 Day Fiance as well?
Yes.
Shows, y'all.
They discussed 90 Day Fiance the other way on Mondays on live, same time.
I like that. But I believe that has been a brand new episode of The JasVynce Show. Peace, y'all.
Jasmyne and Vince.
The JasVynce Show.